In terms of the universe as a whole, we live in a very special time. We live in the era when humans have discovered the emergence of something like a planetary nervous system. It has even been understood as a planetary mind. The great work of our time may be learning how to build this planetary mind in ways that lead to the well-being of the Earth community. I'm Brian Thomas Swim of the Human Energy Project. This discovery of the Noosphere was carried out by the French paleontologist Pierre Teilhard de Chardin and the Russian biochemist Vladimir Vernadsky. They were the first to see Earth's developmental sequence. We began as molten rock, which gave birth to Earth's oceans, in which spawned Earth's life. This life spread all around the planet and formed an envelope, which we call the Biosphere. Now, out of the most complex animals of this biosphere, Earth's mind is rising. Teilhard and Vernadsky named this mind the Noosphere. Drawing on their work and that of contemporary scientists and philosophers, the Human Energy Project is creating a series of films that presents the best current scientific understanding of this Noosphere, this planetary nervous system. Already you probably have questions about this whole notion of a planetary mind. With the ravages of climate change, it is easy for us to convince ourselves Earth is doomed. But these disruptions around the planet might be evidence of something more than just hatred and greed. Scientists are only now learning to see an order in the midst of the chaos. Our short films explore this new order, bringing forth a planetary mind. Let's begin with a basic truth. The universe operates with a self-organizing creativity. Let me give two examples. 14 billion years ago, the universe consisted of primordial plasma made up of electrons, protons, and neutrons. They relate to each other in ways physicists have studied and quantified. And yet, here's the astonishing fact. These particles brought forth 1 trillion galaxies. Those same particles are still here. It was because they entered into deeper relationships with each other that the architectural marvels of the galaxies emerged. To take in the reality of this process, pretend for a moment that the particles can talk. Imagine approaching a proton and asking, "Did you have any inkling that your relationships would enable the Milky Way galaxy to come into existence?" This same self-organizing creativity shows itself with the appearance of the first cells of life, which spread over the earth and still survive everywhere. 2 billion years after their appearance, some of them deepened their relationships and constructed fir trees, hummingbirds, and blue whales. Could a single cell imagine that by entering into new relationships, it was bringing forth a hummingbird? We begin our exploration by asking the same question, but on a new level. Can we imagine that humans, by their interactions, are bringing forth a new mind, a noosphere? The first step is to recognize that human evolution is already being directed by our collective consciousness. For example, the chemistry of the atmosphere is being determined not by the laws of physics alone, but by humanity's economic activities. Can we take the next step and imagine that human activity might become harmonious with the life systems, and that humanity, acting as a whole, might act in ways harmonious with life? One last word. Not every cell was drawn into the creative work of life's monumental advance into multicellular animals. But the cells who were drawn in were sufficient to make it happen. The same might be true with the Noosphere. Even though this is the work of humanity as a whole, the number of humans who need an explicit, conceptual understanding of the Noosphere might be relatively small. If you yourself are one of them, if you have an intuition that your life's meaning involves working with the emergence of a planetary mind, join us. The Human Energy Project is a gathering place. Our mission is to disseminate the story of the Noosphere so that creative personalities drawn to this work will more readily find each other.